Oh, here we go.
There you are.
You hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, we've got, who do we have here? Let's go up to the top. We got Sasha. We got Jeannie. We got me, of course. We got the Quack Boss. That's my son, anybody, if anyone's interested. We got KS. I don't know who KS is. Let's see, Becky. We got the Quack. Michelle. We got Jenny. All right, how many we got?
Good evening, everybody. We're waiting for a few more to get in here before we get started, I guess.
Yep, we got 6 people. This is something new I'm really enjoying. It's called Ray La Montaña. It's interesting stuff.
He opened for Dave Matthews when I saw him in Chicago.
Oh yeah. Oh wait, you said you saw him?
Uh-huh. He was one of the opening acts when I went to Chicago and saw a 3-day Caravan concert.
Really?
Featuring Dave Matthews for each of the days and Ray LaFontaine, or pardon.
I know who that is too.
I believe he was one of the performers there.
It's funny because they're like white boys that got sold. You know, in the Dave Matthews vein. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I think maybe we should get this started before it's just way too late.
Right.
All right. Let me set something up real quick. All right. Are we ready? You ready, Becky?
I am ready, Tony. Let's start.
Toys. I got toys.
Sound effects on cue.
How is everybody doing tonight? We are live from sunny Florida, where it's always garage sale weather and there's always deals to be had. I am your host, Tony Boss, or the Profit Boss on YouTube. I am the leader of the Facebook group, The Complete Reseller, or TCR for short. I want to thank everyone for joining us tonight for TCR Live, episode number 4. We are super excited to have our special guest and also one of our founding admins, TCR, Becky Dick. How you doing?
I am doing just fine, Tony. And I gotta say, you saved me some money today because I didn't go down to Columbus for a long trip just because I was helping you out here today. So got a lot of things accomplished and I didn't spend money, and I'm ready to have some fun here and talk jewelry for a bit, as well as share a lot of other bolos and things like that some of our other members have posted on up here.
Did you say you saved some money?
I did, because I didn't spend the money. That's how I saved the money. Because
the sound of money?
Yes. Yeah.
All right. So excited to get back on track. We haven't done a show since last year. I had a bum computer that needed to be replaced. So I got a brand new bad boy computer. I got a brand spanking new webcam to make things look a little prettier, as much as I can look prettier. Becky got a brand new mic. We got some upgrades. There's no lag. It's a beautiful thing. So we're excited to be back and doing shows. So let's jump into this. We're going to start off with a little group business. Okay, so let's see, what did we do this week? Jenny had an amazing show on Dominic's group, the Reselling Resource Center, all about taxes and, you know, write-offs and fun math stuff, if that can be fun at all. but very
As
necessary.
a prior CPA, I could get excited about things like that. So, and there are other number geeks out there, I am sure. So,
Excellent, excellent. So everybody, make sure to go check that out. There's links in the group. I think it's actually up in the announcements, because we love to highlight the things that our admins are doing. And there's a link to that video, just like there's a link to this video. So if you have to take off after 10 minutes, you come back and watch it later. Another thing is we literally just went over 4,800 members 10 minutes ago.
I noticed that. I looked yesterday and I thought it's just around the corner that we're going to hit the 5,000 mark.
I can't even believe it.
I know. I remember it's grown rapidly.
Whew, it's
Mm-hmm.
my little teeny little seedling is growing into this big oak tree. Now we have almost 5,000 members. So I'm very humble, and I thank everyone who's joined, and I love you guys. Let's see, what else is there in my little notes here? Jenny's show. Got that. The 4,800 members. Okay. I've been working on compiling units in the group. So let me do something real quick. Let me go grab.
And units, if no one is knowing what Tony's talking about, he's gathering like topics and throwing them all in files. So that way, go ahead, Tony, explain out.
All right, so here is the group units. I've been compiling units in the group. For those of you who don't know what a unit is, they are sections in the group that can be located only from your desktop or laptop, as far as I'm aware. And if anybody else knows a workaround around that, let me know what that is. So we're sharing the Facebook screen right now. If you go over here on the left and click units, you go down here. I put the ones I've been working on up here at the top. So we just did the TCR discount codes, and that pertains 10% off discount code to BubbleFast. So make sure to check that out. For those who don't know what BubbleFast is, they have, packing supplies and stuff like that. I just compiled the Lego unit the other day, and this is some stuff I've been teaching to the group, and I need to go a little more in detail to those. And I've been working on this glass unit. Let me close these. This is pretty much, Jenny's handiwork, and the glass girls, hashtag glass girls. If you type in hashtag glass girls up into this fun little search the group bar right here, pretty much all the glass stuff will come up every time I tag the glass girls. And also we have the jewelry one, which is all of Becky's handiwork. And I started this the jewelry post a long time ago, and then Becky took over and expanded exponentially what I had. I don't know anything about jewelry, so Becky's dropping knowledge over here. Look at all this stuff. You read this and you're well on your way. And down here at the bottom is Becky's seminar.
Oh, yes.
She gave a meetup
at the Tiki Bar in Hudson with our Northeast Ohio eBay meetup group here.
And there's alcohol involved, so it was fun.
There was alcohol involved, yes, indeed. It was a fun time.
Yep. And also there's another one for car parts for Mr. Chris Brown, all his handiwork is detailed in here. So I've been kind of building units around our admin strengths, but there's also other ones down here that need to be added to. So once you get past, the first 5 or 6, the rest of them, there's not much there. I'm adding to that stuff.
It's
So
basically our own little personal library of
yes,
information that we've
yes,
gathered.
yes. So for anyone who's trying to get into any of those niches, it's a great place to start. I'm trying to, in between life, work, kids, the wife, everything, bring some stuff for y'all. And that's one of the things I have brought to you. All right, one more group business is so we've been doing a post called the post challenges on the weekend, and I want to encourage everyone to take part in the post challenges on the weekend. So the idea is to post something that you think people might want to talk about, and think about it before you post. And so when you post something, make it thought provoking, and whoever has the most comments by Sunday midnight, we're going to share your store and encourage our members to go shopping, maybe give you a little positive feedback, a little critique. Um, just today, I can't believe I'm going to admit this, but I had Velcro in the title of one of my listings.
Oh no!
I'm an idiot. I
Did
just
you
sell
did you pull
similar.
it?
I
Did
pulled it immediately.
okay,
Okay.
good.
Because I'm human, I'm going to admit to this. I
Hmm.
didn't sell similar, and I apparently didn't read the title very well. Yeah. So, a second opinion, it can save your arse.
Hmm.
Exhibit A, this arse almost got zeroed.
Right. Absolutely.
So,
And from what I've been hearing and reading from other groups, that Velcro and onesies, they're really, really
right.
cracking
And,
down on those
and
big
this is one that I totally know about.
time.
I literally was dumbfounded when I saw Velcro in my title. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. I
Right.
know this.
Right.
So I'm human. Exhibit A. So all right, next we have our little Q&A with Becky Dick.
Yep. We had some questions coming my way here.
All my jewelry fanatics, let me
I have a couple of them written down here, so I'll get started while you find it. How's that?
sure.
Okay. Marsha Williams asked me before I even get started, what are the top brands and designs that are selling heavy in 2020? That was one of the questions. And I actually went and I looked at my solds for the last 2 weeks, and there wasn't a whole lot of trends that I could really pull up, but I did pull out like 4 things that I keep selling over and over and over. One of them are Trifari and Monet pieces. I would say I sell by far the most Trifari and Monet pieces in jewelry. That could be necklaces, bracelets, earrings. Sets sell better, but those 2 brands. So anything you have up there of those 2 brands, and it's clearly marked on each piece, put them up there. Pearls seem to be very hot in the last 2-3 weeks. And I'm talking real pearls as well as imitation pearls. And how do you tell the difference, you ask? If you have a strand of pearls, and this may seem like an odd, crude way, rub it against your teeth. If it feels like sandpaper, they're real pearls. If it feels smooth, it's glass or plastic. So
I did not know that.
that's just a little tip here. Yeah, if you ever go to a flea market and you see a lot of Oriental people going around, and they'll pick up pearls and they'll put it in their teeth, and everybody goes, "Don't touch, don't do that." So,
Gross.
but that's how you could tell, and it is the truth.
Now,
Gritty.
can you rub your fingernail on it and feel
No,
that?
it's got to be a tooth. I don't know. I
Tooth.
can't do it. I could do it by sight, but to really know, you got to rub it against your tooth.
All right, I've caught up. So the next question is from Kathy Schumacher.
Okay.
Is there a book that helped her in the beginning? So I guess she's asking when you started selling jewelry, was there like a resource that you learned from, or was it
No,
just school of hard
I,
knocks?
I learned from the School of Hard Knocks, Kathy. I started doing this way back in the early 1980s, before internet, before whatever. I would go to antique shows and basically go from booth to booth and learn upon the solemn truth of all the people that were selling behind each of the stands, which sometimes we know can be, you know,
Yeah.
blown out of proportion a little bit. But I would say as the years have progressed, and now, I was just thinking about this not too long ago, how much easier it is today with the Google and internet and stuff like that. There are two sites that I go to very frequently to try to find hallmarks, because that's where I need assistance. I'm always finding new hallmarks, even every week I find a couple new marks that I have no clue what they mean. The two sites that I like to go to a lot is one called Illusion Jewels. They have it all set up A through Z. You go to that site, illusionjewels.com. They have it A through Z. You look at your mark. What does it kind of look like? Start there. You might find it. And another really good one that is Texas Gals Jewelry Facebook group. They have a whole site there of a bunch of marks and what they mean. But books themselves, hard copy books or whatever, no. I have a bunch of them, but I rarely look at them.
All right, so we're gonna have to add those two little tidbits to the jewelry unit.
We will. Okay.
All right, next question is from Amanda Dockery. Cataloging and storing for dummies.
Yeah, I like that, Amanda. My best piece of furniture for storing all my jewelry is an old library card catalog.
Yep.
I bought it. I have a 72 drawer library card catalog. Inside each of those library card catalogs, they have like the little metal pole going through. So I got the little index cards that have the days of the month, 1 through 31, and I punched a hole through it, put it in there, and I labeled each drawer like A, B, C, D. Genie Illusion with an I. That's the website. So I have it in a library card catalog with little index cards, and then on the UPC, what do they call the little section on our eBay where we could label where items are inventoried away. I have all my drawers A through Z, then AA through ZZ, and ZZZ through, AAA through ZZZ, whatever. And I have them, A1, A2, A3. So then when an item sells, I go right to that drawer, right to that number, pluck it out. It's there. That's how I do it.
Michelle is saying she uses tackle boxes.
You could do that too, Michelle, but if I have over 3,200 items, I'd have a hell of a lot of tackle boxes stacked in my house here. So that's why I need it. I could house in my one piece of my library card catalog over 2,000 pieces.
Kathy says she uses egg cartons.
Yeah, you got to start somewhere. I started putting them in drawers. And the thing is, you want to separate them all, because I found like when I had them in drawers or tubs or something like that, when I would sell something, I'd be shuffling through them all and I'd be finding that I'd be breaking them, or some of the stones would be coming out, or
Right.
that and the other. So when I file it away and it sits there until it sells, nobody disturbs it, and it seems to be happier.
All right, next question from one of our members, Joyce Zimbelman. I'm gonna say
Yes.
sounds right.
Yeah.
Best way to develop sources for jewelry if you live in an area that has no flea markets, no thrifts that sell jewelry. Travel.
And she doesn't want to travel either. So we have a lot of obstacles here. But my suggestion for her would be to get on the phone, get to be friends, make contacts with pawn shops, as well as with people that clean out estates. And you could possibly work some sort of a deal. I don't know what Joyce collects, what she likes to, sell. Okay. But you could say, hey, like say if she does linens, we'll just throw that out there, or, even jewelry. Say, hey, every linen that you have at the end of your sale, I'm willing to buy it from you. Can you drop it off and I'll give you X amount? You develop these contacts that on a regular basis, they keep supplying you with the same thing over and over and over.
Oh yeah.
And,
These
that would be one way. And
relationships,
pawn shops too. I mean, they're great contacts. And a lot of these people that are cleaning out estates, that's their job. I mean, it's like they're not getting paid per se for cleaning everything out. They're being paid to sell everything they remove from the house. So if they could remove it from the house, put it in 3 boxes and drive it over to your house and you give them cash on a regular basis, that could be a very good.
Right. There's a guy who I see at estate sales all the time, and he has these big boxes, like the display boxes with the glass tops on them, and I always see this guy. And these relationships that you make are oftentimes your best sources.
Yeah.
I always hear Sasha tell me about his relationships. He's chatty Cathy, talks to everybody, and
yep. Absolutely. I would say right now for my jewelry sources, I have, I would say 6 very steady sources.
Okay.
So, and that's where I get the majority of my stuff.
Okay, cool. We've answered that. So next we have Brenda Yankowski. Yankowski, is that, how would you pronounce it?
Yankowski? Yankowski?
Yankowski?
I don't know. Okay. Brenda. We'll just call her Brenda.
Polish for sure.
Yeah.
So best way to identify unmarked but possibly valuable pieces. I see no maker mark items listed by name.
Yeah. Again, Brenda, this is where experience comes into play.
Yeah.
I could pretty much look at a piece, without even touching it, even going on the eBay like group lots where I'm looking at terrible pictures. And if you show me a picture with 30 items in it, I could just by visually looking at it, Brenda, say that piece, and that piece are the good ones. And the rest are probably, and thing. It's a knowledge thing. It's a quality thing. It's if you could touch it and you could feel it, is it better made? If it's rhinestones, are they prong set or versus glue in? Prong set are generally better than glue in. Is the finish flaking off? There's just so many different things, but it's more of a experience and live and learn.
Yeah. So you could probably look at the top of a piece and tell if it's going to have a maker's mark on the bottom just by looking at it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Last question from our jewelry girls is from Vicky Springer. Do you repair jewelry to make it sellable, and what types of repairs do you make if you do that?
I do very minimal repair work, Vicky. I have purchased pieces that I said, oh, just 1 stone, not a problem. Great piece, buck, I could do this. You know what happens? It sits there, and I never get around to fixing it. If I do any repairs, they are generally just drop in 1 stone, and I'm pretty much, a dedicated kind of person. Like if it's a Trifari piece, I'll need a replacement stone from another Trifari piece. I'm marrying Trifari and Trifari, Monet and Monet. I don't go to, random stones to plop them in because they're not all the same. And they could really, it'll ruin a piece.
Right.
And many times I'll sell a piece with a stone out or broken. And I have literally probably a 50-pound tub or a couple tubs of stuff that I need to get up there. So I'm very bad at, hoarding this stuff. And one day I keep telling myself mentally that one day when my supplies dry up and I can't find anymore, then I'll go to my to repair bin and fix it. Well,
that's never happened.
That's been happening for about 20 years right now, Vicky. So it's still growing. So, but no, I don't repair a whole lot. So
my good buddy Grant always says profits over projects.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
Exactly. It
what I
is
do.
so plentiful for me to find jewelry that I don't need to waste the time spending time fixing it or whatever. Now I clean it. Okay. So if we consider repair cleaning, I do that, and I do that very religiously all the time. So, but
Now, when you're cleaning stuff, do you use different stuff for different types of metals or stones or?
well, you know what? You know, there's my go-to cleaning solution is really high tech. I use Dawn dishwashing soap, some water, and a few squirts of Windex and an old toothbrush.
I better write that down.
Yeah, people go buy,
It's special stuff.
special. I find, when my mom and I started doing this back in the 70s and 80s, my mom at that time, she was in her 60s, and we would go out garage sailing all together. And I had two small kids at the time. So we would go out and buy, and then I would leave her with all the jewelry. And then, day or two later, I'd come back to her house, and on her dining room table would be all of the jewelry that we did. She cleaned it all. And that's exactly what she did. I think she used Palmolive dishwashing soap. I don't even know if they make Palmolive anymore, but she used that and Windex and water and a toothbrush.
Mom knows best, man. I still use tricks.
Yes, you have to be careful. You can't let it sit in the water long, because if there's any glue in stones, if it's too hot, I usually use room temperature water. I don't use warm, so I don't want to mess up the glue. And as fast as I get it wet, I dry it off with a paper towel and let it sit out there.
So probably stay away from the acidic stuff with like lime or lemon and stuff like that in it.
Yeah. Dawn is good because it sucks up grease. So, and what you're finding a lot on jewelry is old perfume and makeup. And so it gets rid of that stuff.
All right. So that's the end of the questions from our members. I actually have a few myself, and I got 4 of them.
I see one more question, but before we move on, Marsha Williams asks, what item sells the best? Necklaces, pendants, rings, bracelets, or earrings? I would say it's totally across the board. It totally is, Marsha. Although I do say that I have more pins and brooches up there out of my 3,100 items. I would say probably 1,000 out of my 3,100 items are pins and brooches, and the rest, everything makes up. But my little helper Michelle's been telling me, we got to get more earrings up there. We got to get more bracelets up there. We got to get more necklaces up there, because those are all selling now. So, it's whatever.
Well, that was one of my questions. Thank you, Marcia. Great minds think alike.
Here we are.
Let's see. Let's go with give me 5 important tools needed to get into the jewelry reselling business. 5 things that you use all the time. 5 things that are essential for me to jump in to do what you do.
Okay. My number one thing, you'll always see it around my neck. It's my jewelry loop. And not only, I don't have just one, I have a collection. And notice, and the reason why I have a collection, and notice they're all on chains, because they close up,
Right.
But if I don't put them on a chain, and if I don't put them around my neck, I lose them. And you have these shiny little things, and you have a mountain of jewelry, they just kind of get all blended. So that's what I do. So I would say my number one tool is a loop, and it's a 10 times loop. I don't use the lighted ones. A lot of people, that's a matter of preference if you like that or not. So I use that all the time. Second thing, I'm looking around my desk, like, because this is where I sit and I work.
Okay.
Everybody know what that is? It's a magnet. Why do I have a magnet? I'll tell you why. All right. Here's one ring. Okay. This is a ring that if you got up and you looked at it with my loop, it says 925 in it. And I'm looking at it, 925 meaning sterling silver. I'm like, this is not sterling silver. One quick way I could find out is if I have my thing, whoops, as I drop it there. If the magnet pulls it up,
it's a fake.
It's a fake or whatever. So I use magnets all the time for, like, if I'm buying silver stuff, if I pluck out a whole bunch of sterling silver rings that I'm buying for scrap, All I got to do is take my magnet out and wave it over them all. If any of them suck up, I don't want those.
Is
Right?
that the one you take with you?
Yeah, I throw this in my purse all the time, so I have it
Okay.
all the time in my purse.
All right.
So
That's two.
that's two. Probably my third thing would be my little cleaning solution stuff. My Dawn, my water, and my Windex that I use all the time, and my toothbrush. You know, real expensive tools there. Probably the thing that gets my items sold the most is my photography setup, my camera. Right. I don't take pictures on my phone. I take pictures on a standalone camera, but you could take them on anything you want. But the one thing that your camera has to have in order to get really good pictures and really close up clear pictures is to go into macro mode. Macro meaning close up. That's like a camera terminology or whatever. And usually on a point and shoot camera, it's a picture. It looks like a little tulip or a flower. Although I have my new Olympus camera, it's a microscope. So you have to be able to get it, you know, close up. And then finally, I would say my best setup would be my actual photography lights and my shadow box, my white shadow box that I have. When I first started, I had the shadow box and I had just little itty bitty lights like on a tripod that would go, but they weren't photography lights. They were, I don't know what kind of lights they were. But the problem was when I took the picture with my camera in the macro mode, sometimes the pictures would come out yellow. Sometimes they would come out gray. Right. Sometimes they would come out, they wouldn't be consistent. So with the photography lights and taking the pictures in a dedicated dark room, I had my husband build me a dedicated dark room in the corner of my little office here. I control the lighting, I control everything. And, you know, that's what, you know, you don't have to say a lot. As I said, when I look on eBay or Posh or whatever, and I take a look at a picture, I could tell by a good picture what it is by just looking at it and not touching it. So if you have good pictures, I know what you have.
Gotcha.
Makes sense. Would, so
pictures sell an item.
They do.
Okay, that's a big one right there. Okay, next is another fiver. I got 5 common but profitable jewelry makers marks to look for. Okay. These are the ones you find most often, but are like bread and butter items that you get excited about because you know you got 30 bucks.
Right, right. Yeah. Well, maybe I don't have 30 bucks. Maybe I have 20 or 25. I pick these up for $1, $2, $3 all the time. Yeah. And that would be, again, Trifari, Trifari, so Trifari.
Trifari.
Yeah. Monet, Monet, Monet. Yep, like the painter, right? Monet. Yep. So Swarovski. Swarovski? How do you say that?
Swarovski?
Swarovski. Yeah, Swarovski. Yes. It'll either say Swarovski on the actual piece, or it'll be a tiny, tiny little swan hallmark on the back. It'll actually be a picture of a little swan. I find those all the time. Probably just finding the stamp 925 on it, but then remembering to have your magnet there to make sure that it is 925. Okay. And then probably another one that I sell a whole lot and I find a lot of pearls, real pearls. And it doesn't really matter if it's got a sterling clasp, a silver plate clasp, or what, as long as they're real pearls. And they could be any color. Actually, colored pearls sell better for me than, you know, dyed color pearls sell better for me than white pearls. You could dye pearls. You could have a white pearl and they could dunk them, I guess, in a dye. And so I could have red pearls, I could have blue pearls, I could have purple pearls, I could have green pearls, I could have orange pearls.
Huh.
Yeah.
I just learned something.
Yeah. You could have any color. So they don't have to be white. They could be any color. Yeah. And if they're white pearls, then you would want to sell them and tag them as bridal wear, because I sell a lot by doing that for white or off-white pearls.
Good tip. Good tip. All right, last question of the Q&A section. Is there more profit in costume jewelry than traditional gold and silver in in your opinion? And why, if yes?
Yes and no. It's a two-edged sword here. If I find, well, let's just take two steps back. Out of my 3,100 pieces that I have up there, I would say only 200, if that, are precious metals. The rest of them are all costume. And why? Maybe 300. I don't know. Not a whole lot. Not a major percentage of it or whatever. And the reason is because my suppliers that I have found in the area that I'm at, most of them deal in gold and silver. And they are great suppliers. When they get giant boxes, they want to pluck out the gold and silver, and the rest is the costume. To them, when they pluck out the gold and silver, they've 2, 3, 4 times their money. So then when the box is left over, they'll give it to me for a song, like, whatever. I'll get a whole lot of it for relatively cheap. So for number one, I don't want to bite the hand that feeds me. So I don't want to sell gold and silver and compete against my suppliers for my costume jewelry. Okay. But with that said, I frequently, as I said, pick up pieces for $1, $2, $3, sell them for $15, $20, $30, $40. Okay.
Right.
There's a big margin there. Okay.
Yeah.
But I have a very low cost invested in my inventory. So say like if my inventory now of 3,100 pieces or whatever, I'm just throwing out a random, value here. So maybe I might have $5,000 cost in my inventory that I have up there right now. But if I look at my inventory, my potential to make is 90,000 or 95,000. There's a big profit margin there. So I prefer to do the costume. I have to have more sales than the sale of like one piece for $50 to sell for $100,
Gotcha.
in a silver piece or whatever. But I prefer to have $5 tied up of my cash to try to make the 50 versus $50 of my money to try to make the 100.
Right.
I don't know if I'm making sense there. I do a lot of multiple sales of lower dollar amounts. And that's the one thing that I have to stress is when you get as many pieces as I have up there, that people do not purchase just one item from me on a general sale. In December, I was actually looking to see the numbers when we were talking about it in TCR. I sold 790 items in December, but I only had 420 sales. So most of the people, I had a lot of single sales because it was Christmas, but I had a lot of sales too where people were buying 5, 10 items at a time. So that's where I really make my profit, when people will buy 10 items from me at $15. Maybe I have $1 a piece invested in them. So now I've got $15 invested and I'm making $150.
Wait for it.
Yeah. So, and that's only possible if you have many, many items up there. So that's what I'm learning very rapidly. I have an anchor store right now. I only have 3,100 items up there. I want to get as close as I can to that 10,000, because the more pieces I have up there, the more selections there'll be for the people to buy, the more items that they'll buy at one time. And it's like a domino effect.
So, right on.
There.
Well, so, that's it for the Q&A section. Yeah. Becky, take a bow.
Done. Yay. So now we're going to get into everybody else's stuff.
Yes, that was the cheering section. Now we are getting into our bread and butter items.
So, hey, you know what? I see Chris Brown here. Can I say one thing here? He put a question in there. How do you know if the pearls are real? Chris, you should have gotten here earlier. You have to take the pearls and rub them against your teeth. And then if they're sandy or gritty, they're real. If they're smooth, then they're probably plastic or glass. There you go.
All right. We have Pam Reed made it in here. How you doing, Pam? Kathy is saying hi.
Hi, Kathy.
Chris Brown is here.
Yep.
Oh, wait a minute. We have the Cajun reseller. What's up, Cajun? All right. So the next section is our bread and butter items. Now, bread and butter items are not necessarily our biggest sales, but our bread and butter items are the items that anchor our store and that you sell consistently every day, every other day. Every time you find this item, it sells. To me, a bread and butter item is something that I've sold before. And we are going to go through 5 of mine and 5 of Becky's. So we're just going to see what's first. And first, we have one of Becky's. You see that,
Surprise,
Becky?
surprise. It's a Trifari set.
Sorry.
Yep. And sets sell better. So, this set I'm sure I picked up for $2-3 for the set, and I flipped it for 25. Not too bad.
Oh, yeah, Trifari. And you already explained why that's bread and
Mhm.
butter. Trifari is one of the top 5.
One of the top 5.
Okay, here's mine. The Rolling Stones. This one right here is with the band cover. I learned this from Brandon Spodek, who runs a vinyl group, and he's also in our group. This Rolling Stones album has Marilyn Monroe and Lucy on the front, and basically the Stones did not get permission from all these lovely ladies on the front of this cover. So when the record label heard from the lawyers, they basically took all these faces off and put like little colors in there instead of the faces. There's some of them are white and some of them have different colors. So it should go without saying that whenever you see a Rolling Stones album, snag that sucker. But this one was a special one because it had the band cover with Marilyn Monroe on there and Lucy from the TV show and all these other famous ladies. And also, I think George Harrison's down here at the bottom
Mhm.
from the Beatles. And every time I see a Stones record, a CD, a tape, I snag it, and it's always a sale. $30, $30. I paid $1 for that sucker.
There you go.
So next, is one of mine. We have Bird on a Wire and the Cowboy Way DVD. It's 2 movies on there. This was actually a new one. So neither one of these movies ever made it to Blu-ray. So this is the best definition-wise, uh, the best quality of these 2 movies that you're going to find. Uh, if you're following what I'm saying. So these are basically old 80s movies that never made it past DVD. No one printed them or pressed them up on Blu-ray or anything like that. So, people from the 80s saw this and scooped it right up. I got this for free from one of my buddies. And so free and $17.33 all day. A tip with these DVDs, a lot of people walk right past the DVD section wherever, or if they're at a garage sale or at the flea market. Check those DVDs and look for these old movies, not necessarily 80s movies. What I look for is like the 60s and 70s movies with, older actors in them. Some of them have passed away. Um, those, like I said before, were never put on Blu-ray. Most of them were never put on Blu-ray. And, people, there's a lot of people that collect VHS tapes, but DVDs are better quality. So they want to have the ease of use that a DVD has and the quality. So look out for those older DVDs. So next we have, okay, looks like it's going to be all mine. This this is a hip hop group called the M Forcers. This old 80s hip hop stuff. is big right now. It's a sealed cassette tape. I got this and a lot of stuff off of eBay. I think I paid $10 for probably 30 tapes, and this is just one of those tapes that put me in the green. So I'm always checking the auctions, and that's where I source a lot. Probably 90% of my stuff is on online auctions, and eBay being half of them. Oh, here's another one of mine. Okay, so in full disclosure, in high school, I loved metal, I loved hip hop, I loved alternative music. So I got into everything, and those of you who know what this is, it's a '90s hip hop. It had the old dirty bastard on it, and yeah, I think I sniped this off of eBay for $5 years back. So, and I have this in my saved searches. This is one I always look for, because if I get it for $5, I can sell it for 20. Exhibit A. Here's another one of mine. Okay, so these old Microsoft um, Office, Word, the OSs, um, they do sell. You just got to make sure it has a product key. I got this at the Goodwill bins for 50 cents, and I'm 50 cents into 1777 all day.
Is there
So
if I could interject here, is there a date cutoff, Tony, that, after, say, 2010, then they didn't allow you to, even if you had a product code, you could only use a product code once. Do you come
I
across that at all? Do you know what I'm
I've
saying?
I've never had that problem. There
Okay.
there may be, but
I
I've
think with some of the newer ones, they're getting smarter, especially, like with the Microsoft and
right.
things like that.
That is true.
Like a one-time use, a one usage or whatever,
A lot of the newer video games and the software
Mhm.
is like that, but this older stuff, um,
Right.
you
I was just curious if there was like a cutoff here or
know,
something.
that's a great question. Um, People want Office just for Office.
Right.
There's all kinds of other stuff in there, but really they just want to be able to type up their reports.
Right.
They don't want to have to pay, I don't know how much it is, 150 bucks. I would buy this for $17 over 150 bucks all day.
Right.
Because all I need is that one program, and it's basic program.
Mhm.
So yeah, that this is an option for them. Let's hope your listing is next. Not son
Nope.
of a gun. Okay. Just sold this. This is a 2000 Leagues Under the Sea snow globe that I got from Disney. There's a Disney store at the outlet malls where I get this stuff for super cheap. I think I paid $8 for this,
Hmm.
and it cost me $8 and change to ship it. So nice little profit there. It was new in the box.
Mhm.
Do I really need to tell you to look out for Disney stuff? Probably
Why
not.
not?
Um, Here we go.
Next one of mine.
You're up, Becky.
Yeah, and here we go. It's a Monet. Surprise, surprise. This one is especially nice because how it like fans out. That's called a festoon type of style. That's
Very cool.
very collectible. Let's put it that way. And also, too, another good tip is the shorter a necklace is, most likely the older a necklace is. So you see, this is a 14.5-inch necklace. So it's really a choker type. So I could comfortably say that this is like from the 1960s. So to date it.
Yep. All right, next up.
And people laugh when you talk about jewelry from Joan Rivers, but Joan Rivers sells. And I'll even say that Joan Rivers sells overseas, which I sell a lot of international, even more so than in this country. This one is a Joan Rivers pin. And so I find her all the time, clearly marked on the back. And, I'm sure I picked up this pin for $5 or less. And you'll see here, I sold it for $40. Can't beat that.
Very cool. Is that a brooch?
It
Brooch.
is a brooch, and the flower actually spins around, so it's like ooh ah, so it's movable here.
Here's
So
our vintage pewter cat.
oh, somehow or another, it got the little the mouse over thing here. Yeah, something got messed up with this picture, but yeah, this is a JJ Jonette one or whatever. So I apologize. Somehow I cut and paste the when the little mouse over to Zoom thing went. So we'll just pass over this one. But
That's
JJ
cool.
Jonette's another good brand to pick up. You find those all over the place. They're usually figurals, cats, dogs, getting in trouble or mischief. So
Chasing a butterfly.
place some butterfly. Okay, and then I wanted to say holiday. Right now, I'm selling lots of Valentine things. This is a piece that I just sold not too long ago. I just finished selling a ton of Christmas items. Uh, St. Patrick's Day is another thing that's selling off. Every clover that I have, 4-leaf clover, shamrock, leprechaun, that's selling off my shelves here. So don't be afraid to pick up no name holiday pieces and throw it up there. And one of the tips that I do when I list it, I will type in a special specification, and I will put in occasion. And then like for this one, I would type in Valentine's Day, or an occasion, Halloween, occasion, Christmas. And when people would be doing searches for it, this would pop up. And so I sell a lot of them.
I like that. I love your props. You got the doily stuff in the back.
I have a whole room of body parts and props.
I know you love rocks. I know.
Yeah,
You love
and
rocks.
I do rocks too. Yeah, I have a lot of rocks. So
All right, what's next? Oh,
that's it.
hey,
Oh,
that's us.
that's us. Yeah. So were you going to go to some of our members? They put up some of their.
Yeah. Can you fill a few seconds while I do a little searching here?
Sure,
Get,
you do the
get,
search in there here.
get set up.
Let's see here. Does anybody have any other questions? I'm looking here to see if anything pertaining to jewelry. If they have any questions pertaining to me here, I'd be glad to answer. And going back to the question that you had of mine as to whether I, like to do precious metals versus costume jewelry, I for sure will pick up precious metals jewelry when I could buy it for costume prices. Let's put it that way. I have a hard time paying a higher price sometimes for the precious metals to flip them. But if I could find a, nice sterling bracelet for $5, it's mine, So it has to do a lot with how much money is invested in my inventory and and how much I could flip it for. So,
All right, I'm ready.
okay. So what we got here?
What we have here. First up, we have the super sweet sales of the week. This is our members super sweet sales of the week. I just went through and I picked a few. There's Craig Dawson, our Canadian guy. I picked this one right here to check out. This is Ian Jex paid $2.99 for this, sold after 5 minutes of being listed for $64.99. Now he left a little bit of money on the table, but the thing is that whenever you see Sony Walkman or Discman, grab that sucker, even if it's used. They sell for good money. $2.99 into $64.99. I will take that all day. Yeah, I probably could have gotten a little bit more for that, but that's
sometimes an offer in 10 minutes is better than trying to wait for that extra $10 2 months down the line that may or may not come.
Get it out the door. Okay, our next one we're going to talk about with my little dog there. So this is from Mendy Ruiz. She got 2 Ethan Allen end tables for $100. Okay, and flipped them for $4.90 a piece.
Wow.
$149 shipping. So Ethan Allen is a thing. It's something to look for in your local marketplaces like Facebook, Marketplace, OfferUp, neighborhood apps, local selling groups. Just go on there and search Ethan Allen. Okay, it's gonna take up a little bit of room, but for some reason, this Ethan Allen stuff sells for crazy money.
Yeah.
Stuff sells.
I wonder why. I wonder, is it because Ethan Allen does
They
not have
don't make it
stores
anymore.
everywhere?
I don't think they make it anymore.
Oh, okay.
Even if it's just the hardware,
Yeah, that's true.
if you find one of these pieces and it's all banged up, grab the hardware.
Hmm.
Could be worth it just to grab that hardware. It sells for big money. Do yourself a favor and check the solds and type in Ethan Allen, and hopefully you get something like that. That's pretty amazing. I'll spend $100 to make 1,000 all day.
Yep.
Okay, let's see what's next. Is our buddy John the Pitbull Robertson. Okay, he paid $2 for this gun holster and found it at the Goodwill. All right,
Hmm.
for $134.95, 875 shipping. It looks like he took a best offer. Um, this is Florida for you. John lives an hour away from me, over by the beach.
There you go.
Uh, it's the Wild Wild West here in Florida. I've never found anything like this in my neck of the woods. But it should go without saying that anything gun related and leather is an automatic grab if it's a good price.
There you go.
So well done, Johnny boy. Excuse me. Let's see. Oh yeah, here we go. The next one up for our super sweet sales of the week, we got the Fresh Prince there, bugging out. This is by Leah Searcy Case. She found this mid-century modern Griffin cigarette box humidor thing.
Yeah.
She apparently bought 3 items at a garage sale for $20 and sold this bad boy for
Yeah.
$241.68.
That's something I would have picked up just because it's odd.
Right.
Yeah,
That's
it
kind
is.
of what
Yeah.
I thought. Like when I look at that, I don't think cigarette case. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna grab that thing just because it
Sure.
looks really cool
Right.
to begin with. Looks cool as hell. I would have grabbed that, you know, honestly. Um, and I'm still looking at it, wondering where the cigarettes go. But
I don't know. It must open. I got to imagine where the beak is or something like that. Like it opens up and
right,
that's
I'm
where
imagining that it's
yeah,
probably like right in
yeah,
here where it goes. But whatever. Either
whatever.
way, that she's spent $20 on 3 things, and that's probably $7 she's got into that, and all day. All right, Leah. So the next one I chose was lots of good ones in here, but I had to choose a few to highlight. So
Yeah,
this
this
one's
one.
by Marie Ann Smith. Now Marie lives in Australia, one of our Aussie members. She got this Louis Vuitton.
And it
Uh,
was free, was
it's
it?
free. She got it.
Yeah.
Okay, so they have this thing called Bulk Day in Australia, which is where people put all their junk outside, and then all the garbage pickers drive around and look through your stuff, which is
Yeah,
kind of
I
strange.
imagine it's an off take of the Canadians and Boxing Day, but they're here. You put it out on your curb and you swap stuff.
Um,
Yeah,
yeah, so
yeah,
she got this for free, and she made $202.50 for rummaging through the garbage.
yeah. Being at the right place at the right time.
And let me just say this: I'm not a dumpster diver, but this guy
I
would
am.
be jumping over into the dumpster if
Yeah.
I knew there was a Louis V
Yeah.
roll
I
in
have
the
pulled
sink.
out boxes of, jewelry boxes out of trash, out of icky trash. I have.
Oh yeah, I'm not too proud to say that I would have jumped in after that.
Yep.
And next we have this from Chris Brown. Okay, Chris Brown is one of our awesome admins. Um, the guy is the car parts guy. He doesn't need to sell anything else. There are a few people out there that just break all the rules of eBay and being a reseller. You are
I
one of those people, Becky, and Chris Brown is one of the other people. Like you don't need to expand your niche knowledge into anywhere else. And that's cool. So you guys break the rules, and that's cool. Um, this is a BMW 525 I series left headlight. Sold for 225 plus $15 shipping, and I'm looking at that like it looks pretty big. How did he ship that for 15 bucks? But no matter because he only paid 30 bucks for it. Chris is my hero. This is not some random occurrence. Chris sells stuff like this all the time. He either got this at the pull and pay place or from one of his tow truck friends who brings him cars to pick from. He just sells car parts, and this is just another example of the awesomeness that is Chris Brown.
Yep. I think we need to convince Chris Brown one time to have somebody video him as he's doing his extractions from his.
I've had that exact idea, like maybe one day when the group gets a little bigger and I get a little more time on my hands, I will go and film him.
Oh, good. Then I'll see you too, since you could come film me too, since we're very close to one another.
All right, last but not least is this awesome score from Greg Lauder. He sold 47 Chuck Missler CD-ROMs.
Oh my!
He got this to the Salvation Army for $94. This is the Book of Romans, Luke, Job, Proverbs. This religious stuff is not to be discounted. Okay, a lot of it is worthless, and a lot of it is proprietary to a certain church or only a certain people, a few people, a handful of people know about it. But there are some things like this in particular. I don't know who this is. I wouldn't have recognized it, but I do know to look at this stuff. Sometimes these DVDs and CDs that are religious can be worth big money. So he turned $94 into $600
Nice.
all day,
All day long.
religious items. I know there's a couple people in our group that sell religious items, and Exhibit A, why you should pick those suckers up. All right, now we are done with the super sweet sales of the week. All right, so I don't know if I told you this, but here, let me get out of here and get our lovely faces back up. We have a big announcement for the group to let y'all in on. We have made friends. As the group grows, we're picking up the attention of the big boys and girls, and they are seeing the value that we bring. Um, so I am meeting people, and I met a guy named Eddie Wee. Um, last week. Eddie Wee started the Facebook page, or not the Facebook page, the website called size.ly or Sizely, uh, as it's known as in the reseller community. So we made friends with Eddie, and we acquired a 20% discount code for our members. You know, a lot of people, um, a lot of people that run groups, they like to do affiliate links and make money off the group members. But we decided to bring the deals to the members, and we want to pass on those savings to you. So instead of profiting off of you, you guys get to save 20% off this really cool. Um, it's a website. It's not an app. So I'm going to go over here and check this out. We're gonna look at this. I'm gonna give you one more.
No, stop!
Go. Take care of him. Sorry. No, that's not what I wanted to share. Give me a second. Maybe fill in a little bit of dead air time.
Sizely,
oh, here we go.
Correct me if I'm wrong. The purpose of this is to assist you if you sell certain items on the measurements of those items in your listings. Am I not correct,
right.
Tony?
Sizely is just like it sounds. It's measurement, size, details. So here is the breakdown of the plans. So I want to encourage everybody to at least sign up for the starter store. There you get 30 free templates a month. That's, there's not many. Sorry, I'm a little distracted right now. I don't sell a lot of clothes, but for somebody who just sells like t-shirts or something like that, this is perfect for you to just check it out. You get 30 templates, and a template is something where you can go and measure. Say you got a t-shirt, you measure the sizes and you put it in, and it produces a picture that you can put in your pictures, say in eBay, that gives you details.
Mm-hmm. And also too, I'll interject, it kind of perked my ears up because Tony said he also has something that it works with jewelry. So I need to check that out also to see.
I'm going to show you that in a second. But with the starter, it's free. You look at the templates, or you can use the templates and the designs. So on the Pro edition, it's $10 a month. With that 20% off, it'd be only $8. Or the Ultra is $19 a month. You get 20% off that. So it's a good deal. So if you sell a lot of clothing, this is kind of, to me, like mandatory to help to make your business look professional. All right, so I'm going to close out of this and go into the actual Sizely app. Let me share again. Go over to here. No, not that one. That's not what I wanted. Sorry, bear with me, folks. Here we go. Okay, check this out. If you see up here, we have tops, bottoms, outerwear, underwear, dresses, kids, shoes, glasses, accessories. And because Becky is here, we're going to go down here and look at all this stuff. Accessories, bracelets. Let's look at bracelet.
Okay.
So we got height. Here, let's say it's 1 inch. Circumference, we'll call it 5 inches. You can enter the brand. We'll call it Trifari. Model is
NA. don't have models on vintage stuff.
NA.
NA, not applicable.
Size is, I don't know what the size is. We'll just put and blah blah blah. And notes, you can add a note here. You know, you could probably put like your title from your listing in there. And you hit generate right here, and you come out with this. And check this out. For those of you who sell stuff overseas, it breaks it down into centimeters.
Yeah, that's always very important. Most of my European or overseas people, they like to see things in centimeters as well as inches. So I've actually gotten on the habit of photographing items on a grid board, actually, that has both the inches as well as centimeters to communicate without words.
Right. So you can do this on your phone. You just go to your Explorer app and check this out. Imagine what this would look like in your listing. I think it presents a real professional display for everyone to check out. So I want you to think of Sizely this way. It's like putting bells and whistles on your listing, but how many times have you heard people say that a picture sells an item, or that a title itself can sell the item? Like this layout in your listing can sell that item. If you sell clothing, hats, purses, jewelry, then this will make your listings have professional qualities to it that will, you know, surely help you sell your items. It will help you cut down on returns. Imagine
or not as described.
Right, exactly. It covers you. It's almost like insurance. It eliminates the guesswork, and gives the customer a sense of ease when buying from you, and seemingly gives you a professional look to your listings.
In order for our members to get the discount, is there some sort of a code that they have to relay, Tony?
Yes. I got it in here. It's in my little spiel at the end. So if you look here, there is a ton of templates in here. Like we got camisole, you know, there's shoes. Like I didn't even know what a classic pump was, or a wedge. I guess I did know what a wedge was. It's just an awesome app, in my opinion. Like there's tons of stuff in here. It's a great learning tool. If you ask me, you know, an empire dress, I don't know what an empire dress was, but if I had one, I would know what an empire dress was by using this app. I think it's really cool. Yeah, I've never seen any of this terminology. It's really cool. You know, it's just a real professional addition to your repertoire. So let me look up here. All right, well, you guys can dig into it and check out the free version. And the code, the 20% discount code is, drum roll please, the complete reseller. Just write that in. It's capital T, capital C, capital R, the complete reseller.
Just the 3 letters, TCR, or
no,
spelled out?
The complete reseller.
Okay, spelled out.
With capitals.
Okay.
Capital THE, capital COMPLETE, capital RESSELLER.
Got it.
All one word. That will get you 20% off. If you have any questions, contact Eddie Wee in the group. I've been chatting with him. about this really cool tool, and I'm excited to give you guys this 20% discount. I'm not making any money off this. I have no connection to this. I don't have an ownership stake. I'm not. This is for you guys. So I'm going to be posting the discount code and the TCR discount codes unit in the group. And we also have a Bubble Fast code in there as well. So, you know, we're meeting people. We're bringing you guys some discounts on some seller tools. And that's really cool addition to the group. And I think we are just about wrapped up here. Anyone who hasn't subscribed to the channel, hit that like button, subscribe. I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. We appreciated having you guys and girls here. I want to thank my awesome admin who is priceless for joining us tonight. I want to thank Ziggy for entertaining.
That's my parrot, everybody. That's been chirping in the background a little bit.
So that is it for TCR Live episode number 4. Thanks for joining us tonight, and we are out.
Good night.
Good night.
No, let me do.